Hello, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, signs, and cross-watchers. This is your tarot reading for the week ahead whenever you're finding this. If you're watching along as I post because you're subscribed, this is for the week of December 8th through the 14th, 2025. Aquarius, what is in store for you this week? First card out, the Forest Lovers in reverse. Okay. And we see here a hand-binding ceremony, which ritualistically was used to marry two souls. We see some peace lilies here, obviously representative of peace, good times, good fortune between these two lovely souls. So when the Forest Lovers comes out in reverse, I feel you are making a decision this week to perhaps leave behind a certain connection, but I'm not seeing this as a big deal. It doesn't feel like a big deal. Let's see what, like, it could be somebody minor in your life, you know? If you've been in touch with an ex, for example, this is the first example coming to my mind. If you've been in contact with an ex, you may be making the decision, you know what, I think I'm just gonna gracefully let that connection go and not really communicate anymore out of respect for my current or future partner. We have the Six of Stones in reverse with exploitation next to that. Oh, this is actually giving us a pretty clear picture here, actually. Aquarius. Oh my God, I'm getting a pretty big message. I need some water for this, actually. Aquarius, you have dealt with so much exploitation of your kindness, your love, your magic, your good intentions in your life, like time and time again. Like, this is actually a pretty big message for a weekly reading. It was so, like, that was your normal reality. Just being used by the people around you. Aquarius, if you're watching this, I'm wondering if there was something about your upbringing that made you naive. And by that, I mean, or not naive. We're all naive when we're young, right? That's not a you exclusive thing. But something about your upbringing that's, I don't know, if you were neglected as a child, or even worse, exploited by your own parents, or just not really given many examples, if one or both of your parents weren't really available, I feel like it's sometimes easier to get exploited emotionally as you get older, because you don't have examples of being treated right. And I feel if you're watching this video, that could have very much been your story for so many years, like just being exploited by people around you, choosing partners or friends who like just took you for granted, really, you know, very one-sided connections. And it was so commonplace in your life to be in those sort of connections, Aquarius, that it was so normalized for you. Up until like even today or recently, you know? Aquarius, it's like it was so commonplace for you that it was like, even if you learn to stand your ground, even if you learn to set boundaries with these people, you still kept them in your life. You were still friendly to them because it was normal. Like, oh yeah, I broke up with that person. We're still friends though. It's fine. Or, yeah, I'm still in contact with that person. We're not as close as we used to be. But these are people that very much took a lot from you and did not give energy back in an equal fashion. Aquarius. Wow. And this feels like a really huge message. And I'm getting chills now. Like, I actually want to cry tapping into this energy, because it's like a dog, like a puppy. I'm imagining a really, really cute puppy. Not even a puppy, like a dog, an adult dog, but like they still have that puppy energy. They're just tiny, they're adorable. And it's like they have one owner and then another and then another. Like, they're just mistreated, given up, replaced, mistreated again. But like with dogs, it's like they'll always keep trying to love the human that's taking care of them, you know? Even if that human is treating them horribly, they don't know better. And not to compare you to a dog. I mean, I think dogs and humans are equal. But like, that's kind of how I'm viewing your energy, Aquarius. You know, and it's heartbreaking. And there has been a message in the collective for December where I just feel this shift taking place, where it's like people who benefited off of the exploitation, not just people, companies, politicians, we'll see it. This was a huge, huge download I got this past week. People who benefited off of exploitation of others are going to start going downhill very quickly, starting in December. We're already in December. So it's like, we're going to see this a lot, you know? And the people who, because we've all exploited someone or something at some point in our lives, you know, whether it be another person, the environment, unknowingly. Like, I was just wearing a Nike's hoodie. Now, I didn't buy that hoodie, but you know what I mean? We all know how they produce their clothes. Exploitation. So it's like the people who really, really exploit, though, in order to get their wealth, their success, their happiness, you know, walking on the necks of others, they're really, that's not going to work for them anymore. Yeah, and we'll see it. And the people who were victims of exploitation, or the people who kept showing up trying to do the right thing, their heart was in the good place, you, in your personal relationships, it seems, the tables are turning. And you guys may have consistently tried to show up in life with integrity, with love, with honesty, even when you knew, like, if I just lied, cheated, stole, or did the wrong thing, or cut corners, I would be so much wealthier, more successful, this and that, you know, like, you knew there were quicker ways to get to the reality you wanted, but you didn't go down those shortcuts because they were not moral or in alignment with what you believe is right. And Aquarius, if you're watching this and this is resonating, you may have had to deal with this for years, like continuously doing the right thing, continuously opening your heart back up, continuously just waiting and working and taking action towards your goals, both emotionally and relationship-wise, but also like in your personal goals and dreams. Like, when will it be my turn? When will I get there? You know, and having to sit here and watch people around you who exploit, who aren't as good as you in certain capacities, rise to the top or succeed. It can be very frustrating, you know? But, oh my gosh, the tables are turning. But yeah, some of you guys may be making the firm decision, you know what, why am I still friends with that person? Why am I still in contact with them? No. Queen of Bows with hair. There could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, doesn't have to be in your life though, who actually shows up right. And they're an amazing, amazing person in your life. They just really support you. They treat you right. And there's something about this connection, meeting this person, having them in your life that really inspires you to just be better, to do better, to show up better, you know? This doesn't even have to be a person in your life yet. This could be the concept of a person. Like, for example, I know I've heard other people talk about this. If you don't have any children, like just imagining, like if I had a daughter, if I had a son, would I want them to be raised by this man or this woman? Would I want them to be a parent to them? And if the answer is no, you're like, well, then I'm not going to date them, you know? And that imaginary person sort of inspires you to make better choices for yourself. Or like if you're single and you know that you want marriage, you want like long-term happiness in a partnership, it's like, okay, the dream spouse of mine and like everything they are, everything they do, would they tolerate me still keeping in touch with this toxic person? Probably not. They probably have higher standards than that. And then you make a good decision for yourself as a result. You know what I mean? Even just the future image of you that you aspire to be. Does he or she do what you're doing currently? Do they tolerate what you're tolerating currently? You know what I mean? We have the 5 of Stones in reverse with endurance. You have had to endure a lot. A lot. And look at this. It's like you went for so long, Aquarius, with like operating on the bare minimum of support, of help. Some of you guys, this is going to only apply to like maybe 1 or 2 of you watching. You could have been dealing with a health issue all this time and you thought it was normal, but you've been like feeling like crap 24/7, didn't even realize it. And it's like now you're getting help for that, or getting put on the right medication, or supplementing something, and you're like, the colors are brighter, the air's cleaner, like everything improved. That happened to me when I started taking magnesium supplements. A lot of people are not getting sufficient magnesium. Everything changed. I had problems I didn't even realize were problems when I started taking magnesium. Oh my God. It changed everything. I didn't realize how desperately in lack my body was. You know, like I think I started taking, I don't know how TMI you guys want me to get with you, but I started running, and then I started having like breast pain in the luteal phase of my period cycle, like the 2 weeks before your period. And I looked it up and it was like probably magnesium. Yeah, so I looked into it and then I got on the supplements. And that was the only reason. Also, I was having insane mood swings. Like I always had bad mood swings during the luteal phase, but I got on these supplements because I'm like, clearly I'm missing magnesium. And I didn't realize how many other symptoms I had because I was just so used to it. The mood swings. I was chronically sore all the time. Didn't realize it. Started taking magnesium, went away. I could never just sleep through the night ever. I would always wake up like at 3 a.m. and just be so anxious, thinking about this and that and this and that, and that went away. Like, there was like a million other things. I'm not going to get into it, but like with this card coming out in reverse, you know, just check your hormones, make sure you have all the nutrients, like everything's good, you know. Same thing in relationships. It's like, you just make sure you're having your needs met. You went such a long time with the bare minimum, or like really needing something. The phrase touch starved also came to mind as well, you know. We have the 9 of Arrows in reverse with dedication. Opening your heart up over and over and over again, trying over and over and over again, when will it be my turn? 4 of Vessels in reverse with boredom. This also came out for Libra. I feel like you're going to have some time and space this week to really do a deep dive into the things that need adjusting in your life, the things that need changing in your life. Releasing. There's been a lot of... You've been settling a lot in life, Aquarius, and I'm just seeing a lot of reflection here of like no longer settling for scraps, no longer settling for breadcrumbs, just generally in life, you know? And it's like starting to really prioritize yourself in a serious way, which is going to change everything. So I'm really happy for this week for you. All right, thank you so much for joining me. Definitely watch for your sun, moon, rising, and Venus signs to get the fullest overview of this week ahead. Like this video, comment how it resonated down below, and subscribe if you've not already. Thank you guys. Bye.